Hey guys, my name is Moon and welcome back for more Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 6, Tsumihoroboshi. So last time, Rena executed or finished off, both Rena and Teppe. So for Rena, they had some conversation at the house and then Rena followed her to the dump. I think Rena said she kind of wanted her to follow or Rena to follow her anyways, right? Had the confrontation there, got violent, and then at the end Rena won. And then for Teppe went to the house of Rena. He was just doing the plan, right, of him and Rena's to be the ex-boyfriend and then threaten the father, right? And then afterwards, Rena planned it as well, lure him to the dump and finish him off, with one strike to the head and he was gone. But I think the biggest, at least for me, the biggest thing with last episode was the tips because it was so unexpected, right? With Rika there, Rika talking older again, drinking, and then someone came in. I thought it was Satoko, but it was a different person, right? So this is gonna be very, very interesting. And Rika said she had like 10 days, I think, her last 10 days. So I want to see more of that, honestly, for some reason. Because for the Rena and the Rena thing, you know that would happen already. But for this one, for the Rika one, it was so unexpected in the tips. Like I didn't expect that. And it just showed. It was nice. It was good. Okay, so here we go. Let's continue. It had been very hot for the past few days, and the corpses went rotten quickly. Any housewife knows how fast fresh meat can go bad. I know it too. That's why the first thing I did was to dismember the corpses. Jesus. There was only one reason why I needed to dismember them. I had to reduce them to a portable size in order to carry them to a place where they'll never be found. Like last chapter, right? We saw Shion. Like Shion would kill them, right? Would kill them, would torture them. But after that, she would just throw them in the well. For Rena, she's dismembering them. Jesus, that's why. When Shion said about Rena, right? Like she's kind of. Rena is scary. I think she like how what I don't know how she worded it, but she kind of not look up to, but she I don't know the word, but yeah, she knows that Rena is much more capable, not capable, I don't know, but yeah, something like that. Okay, let's go. Let's continue. When men see the words dismembered corpses, they'll probably feel disgusted because they don't cook. But housewives are used to taking guts of fish and they sometimes see living maggots. They take the maggots off of the food or even cook it with the maggots still on. The heat will kill them after all. Women don't tell men what they do in the kitchen because men wouldn't eat the food if they knew. So it didn't really bother me much to dismember them. I was released from all my problems by killing them. So cleaning up the mess was like nothing to me because I got freedom and regained my happiness. I dismembered the corpses using carpenter tools, like a saw and a hatchet. I am wearing a black suit I bought today because I thought I might get stained with blood. Bloodstains don't show on black fabric, so I can just throw it away after it's done. I brought a plastic sheet I found in the dump because I thought blood might spread otherwise. If I did the work on the sheet, I could just burn it after I was done. In the end, dismembering human bodies is no different from preparing food on a chopping board. I was very tired from chopping apart two adult bodies, but I didn't have a problem doing it. I cut off their arms, legs, and heads, dividing each body into 6 pieces. I heard before that blades get easily ruined by fat when you cut apart a corpse, so I brought many kinds of tools. And I was right. I didn't have to go back and forth between here and my house to get another tool in the middle of work. A long time ago, the construction manager was murdered and his body was dismembered here during the dam conflict. He was cut into pieces in the same way. Well, I had 2 bodies, so there was double that though. I remember the main suspect was still in the loose, and the victim's arm he hid hadn't been found yet. I wonder where he hid it. I liked to ask him, so I smiled really. Unlike the arms, the legs and head and torso were difficult to take care of. I thought about cutting them into smaller pieces, but I decided against it because I thought it'd be troublesome to clean up the guts. I put each piece in a black trash bag and I sprayed on a lot of deodorant, so I wasn't sure if it would help against the smell though. Many bugs flew around me while I was dismembering the corpses. After I finished putting all the pieces into each bag, the bugs were still flying around, but that was just because they could smell the blood. After I cleaned up everything, they were all gone. Now all I need to do is get rid of these 12 black bags. That's a lot. Burning them would be easiest, but I don't think I can burn them to ashes without using a cremator. The best way to bury them somewhere? Other than the store or the torsos, every piece is small enough to fit in my backpack. I could easily carry them without being noticed. I could throw them into the river, running through the dam construction site. But if I did that, somebody would find them for sure. I've seen in the news several times before that the bag with a body part in it was found beside a river. Every time I heard something like that, I always thought the murderer was stupid. I thought about dumping them into the Onagafuchi swamp, but rotten meat floats. I thought about weighing the bags, but there's no guarantee they'd stay down. So that left me one choice: to bury them. So there are many unexplored mountains at the end of the abandoned districts around Yagochi and Takatsudo. It's probably best to bury them somewhere in the mountains. While it would be safe to bury them here in the garbage dump too, it's not perfectly safe. And so I'm going to bury all these bags somewhere deep inside of a mountain in order to completely erase the 2 of them. My joints hurt since I've been using muscles I don't normally use. Honestly, Rena is very, she crazy, man. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, she's very, very smart here. Doing all of this right. Even with the planning with Tepe and all of that, the last episode, right? She's very, very smart when it comes to doing all of this. I cleaned up the mess very carefully and got into my hideout. While still wearing the sweatsuit, I lay down on the mattress. I washed my hands carefully, but there was still dirt and blood under my nails. I should take a shower later and wash it off completely. When I say things like disposing of corpses, it sounds like I'm the greatest evil of the century. But that's only true if I get caught. What I did isn't a crime as long as I don't get caught. Plus, I didn't do this because I wanted to commit a crime. I didn't do anything wrong. I did this to protect my father's life and mine. People might speak ill of me, but I don't care about them. In the end, I don't think anybody can really pass judgment on my sins. Sins aren't something to pass judgment on, they're something to confess and to atone for. In other words, nobody can measure the weight of a sin other than the person who committed the crime. Do I regret what I did? Do I feel sorry? No. I don't think I did anything wrong. I truly believe there was no better way than killing them. So I'm sure it was the right thing because my life had already started to change since the night I killed them. A few days later, or earlier I just came home after killing Tepe. My father was cleaning the room Tepe had trashed earlier. His eyes were swollen. He'd been crying.
レーナ、どこへ行ってたんだ？
あの男と話をしてきた。もうリナさんは二度とこの家に来ない。だからあなたも来ないでって言った。だからあいつはもう来ないよ。
そんなのでおとなしくしてくれるやつじゃないぞ、きっと。レイナもしばらくは用心した方がいい。
It's hard to explain why Tepe would never come back. I can't tell him that he shouldn't worry because I killed him. I grabbed ice cubes from the freezer and then put them in a plastic bag and handed it to my father.
お父さん、はい。ほっぺた、すごい腫れてるよ。
He must have only noticed it just then.
ああ、ありがとう。
私が片付けるからいいよ。掃除機持ってくるね。
レイナ。
He called out to me.
お父さんが悪かった。ごめんな。本当に。
仕方ないよ。あいつらは騙すのがなりわいだもん。だから、お父さんは騙されただけだよ。
レーナは、あいつらがそういう連中だって知ってたのか？
うん。最近だけどね。言っても信じてくれないと思って言わなかった。ごめんね。
He looked down. When he told me about how he wanted to get remarried, I told him that they were bad people and they scammed others with badger games. But he didn't listen to me. So I was right in saying that he wouldn't have believed me at all.
お父さんは母さんとの離婚で落ち込んでいるところを付け入られたんだよ。
お父さんは本当にダメなお父さんだよな。
Then he started talking about how he met Rena as if trying to absolve his guilt. It was when he was suffering the most and he needed to drink away his sorrows. At the bar he happened to go to, Rena-san was the one who came to his table. It was her job to be a good listener when customers talk. I mean, that's a hostess, yes. Rena must really have been a great listener and offered words of comfort when he talked about the divorce. If he was emotionally stable, he could have taken it as a kindness that she was only offering at the time. But he was so desperate that he took it the wrong way. After that, the tragedy was inevitable. He wanted to believe that it was destiny and he glamorized everything about her. It would be easy to laugh at him and say that he was just dreaming. But I don't blame him because being weak is also part of being human. He had plenty of opportunities to grow, suspicious of her, questionable spending habits. But my father just read even that behavior as an attempt to cheer him up. He bought everything she asked him to and Rena had landed her catch. He shouldn't have brought his lover to the house where his daughter lived. But he was crazy about her and he didn't even think about it.
お父さんはお父さんであることを忘れちゃってたんだ。本当にどうかしてた。
He started crying. I held his shoulders gently.
いいよ。お父さんがそれに気づいてくれたなら、お父さんはお父さんなんだよ。私には一人しかいない。最後の肉親なんだから。
I sorry, I accidentally clicked it, man. Did he say? Okay, you're my only family I have. Okay. He couldn't stop moaning. We held each other and cried together. The next day, my father got up early in the morning. He was already cooking breakfast when I got up. And he told me,
お父さんは今日からしっかりするからな。
でもお父さん、目玉焼きを焼く前にサラダオイルは敷いた方がいいと思うかな。
久しぶりの台所なんで。
He pried off the burning eggs on the pan with a spatula and then he added salad oil to it. It was too late. Doing that just made it an even bigger mess. But I didn't say anything because I wanted to eat his eggs, so I waited at the table quietly. He put the burned eggs on a plate and brought them over to me. It looked like he tried to salvage them by adding cheese, but it didn't really work. Still, it smelled good and crispy, so it actually stimulated my appetite. Thick cut toast popped out of the toaster. I made coffee with extra milk and sugar because my father liked it sweet. We put everything on the table. It looked terrible, like the cooking class of an elementary school, but to me it was precious because my father tried very hard to make it wearing the apron.
匂いだけなら美味しそうだよ。あとは味だね。
やっぱり食事はレーナがやった方がいいかもな。これじゃかえって悪い気がする。
お父さんが仕事で忙しくなったら、また私が代わるよ。
It had been a taboo to talk about work in our house. He hadn't worked since a divorce. It wasn't only because of divorce though. He just didn't have to work because the settlement my mother gave him was so huge. Plus, I let him be a lazy because I felt guilty about the divorce. But my father cleared his wrongdoing by showing repentance to me. And I also atoned for my sin of not doing anything about my mom by doing what I did the previous night. Now we are free of sin.
お父さん、仕事を探してみるよ。今日は食案に行ってこようと思う。
それはいいね。
Yeah, honestly, that's a great idea. Yeah, he might find a much better girl, or an actual normal girl, I mean, when he's doing a job, right? It's not money that he wanted. He just needed a normal lifestyle, yeah. And you can do something, I mean, rather than just sitting.
こんな年で体力もないからな。いい仕事があるか不安だよ。
どんな仕事ならいいの？
事務の仕事がいいけど、この年じゃなかなか雇ってもらえないだろうな。
私の友達に聞いてみるよ。
Mion, yeah, you can ask Mion.
みーちゃんはこの辺りの大地主のお嬢さんだから、ひょっとすると紹介してくれるかもしれないよ。
いいよいいよ、仕事くらい自分で探すよ。その程度にはしっかりしないとな。
I don't remember the last time we enjoyed breakfast like this. I don't even remember the last time we had breakfast together. For the first time in a long time, the morning light felt very refreshing. I wanted to keep enjoying life like this. But unfortunately, I had to go to school. I told him that I'd skip school that day and that I wanted him to take me somewhere fun, but he tried to be a good father and said that I had to go to school.
じゃあ、私、学校行くね。
ああ、行ってらっしゃい。
He followed me to the front door. I was a bit embarrassed for some reason. He talked to me while I was tying my shoes. He followed me here not because he wanted to see me off, but because he wanted to tell me something.
お父さんは母さんとの離婚の後、ずっと寂しかった。でもお父さんはレイナと一緒だから寂しくなんかないんだ。そうだ、最初から寂しがることなんか何もなかったんだ。
お父さん、それを家族って言うんじゃないかな。
そうだな。そんなことを娘に教わるようじゃダメだな。
じゃあ、ケイチ君を待たせてるから、もう行くね。
いってらっしゃい。ああ、そうだ、レイナ。今日はお父さんが夕食を作るぞ。食案に行くついでに買い物をしてくる。朝食みたいな失敗はしないから楽しみにしてるんだぞ。
してるよ。行ってきます。
I left the house. My father saw me. My father saw me off, I mean. Still in the apron, so it was the very first step of her new life. I mean, this is very nice though, yeah. Very, very nice. Rena and her father's relationship is already improving, right? But yeah, what Rena did was extremely bad for this. So, I mean, I guess it's worth it for her, yeah. I finally regained it. I finally regained everything we lost after we left Hinamizawa. My mother wasn't around, but I didn't feel sad because I had my father. The cries of the cicadas sounded as if they were celebrating my new life. The sunshine was bright and the wind was sending up a nice breeze. The only thing that wasn't nice was the ticking clock. I was late because I spent too much time talking with my father. Keiichi-kun might already be gone, so I don't think he'd be waiting for me that long. But he was there anyway. Ooh.
Yo! Ohayo!
おはよう。遅れてごめんね。ごめんね。
いいってことよ。普段は俺がレナを待たせてるんだからな。たまには俺を待たさせろ。
ずいぶん遅くなっちゃったね。早足で行った方がいいかな。
そうだな。チャキチャキ行こうぜ。さもないと走る羽目になりそうだ。
みーちゃん、さすがに先に行っちゃってるかな。
待ってるだろう、絶対。俺たちは仲間だぜ。絶対に見捨てないし、勝手に行っちゃったりはしないよ。それはそうと、今日は朝からいいことでもあったのか？
どうしてかな。
いやさ、今朝のレナは普段にも増して上機嫌そうだったからさ、特別なことでもあったのかなって。
The good mood I was in must have been too obvious for Keiichi-kun to ignore. I had not only my family but my friends too. I felt something warm spreading in my heart.
それがね、聞いて。朝食をお父さんが作ってくれたんだけどね。それがね。
なんだよ、目玉焼きはそれで正しいだろ？サラダオイルってのはサラダに使うもんなんだろ？
みーちゃんたちに教えてあげようっと。なんですって？それは許しがたい暴言でございましてよ。
おお、上等だぜ。そこまで言うからには直接対決も辞さない覚悟だろうな。
おお、盛り上がってるじゃない。なんなら今日の部活さ、さとことけいちゃんで外馬行こうか。
みーちゃん、外馬って何かな。
ああ、外馬ってのはよ、つまり俺とさとこだけで賭けをするってことさ。部活の順位がそのまま勝敗になって、負けた方は俺たちだけのペナルティーを課す。
つまりどっちが勝っても負けても僕はとっても楽しいのです。
どうするさとこ。
素敵な勝負でございますことよ。部活にビリで罰ゲームな上に、さらに私に負けてダブルで罰ゲームなんて、こんな素敵なことがございまして。
よしさとこ、よく受けたね。よっしゃ、今日の部活は2人の外馬付きでやろう。
部活の種目より罰ゲームを何にするか考える方が楽しいのですよ。
確かに楽しいよな。聡子がどんな悲惨な目に遭うか今から想像できちまうぜ。
それはケイチさんのことでございましてよ。むがむにやりましたわね、むにゅ
ほらほら、2人とも勝負はまだ始まってないって。
Chie sensei opened the door and then came in.
皆さんお待たせしました。それでは帰りのホームルームを始めますよ。
Start homeroom, then you can all go home? What? Everybody headed to their seats.
みーちゃん、
何？
ケイチくんとさとこちゃんがとても盛り上がっているところで申し訳ないんだけど、ごめんね。ちょっと今日も用事があってすぐ帰らないといけないの。
そうなの？もう用事じゃ仕方ないな。お家の仕事？
うん。
家事ってんじゃおじさんは口出しできないな。うちはお手伝いさんに全部任せっきりだからね。
たまにはみーちゃんも家事手伝いとかすればいいのに。きっと花嫁修行になるよ。
ご安心を。万事その手のスキルに関してはつつがなく習得済みですので。
Mi-chan looks like the kind of girl who tries to stay away from chores as much as possible, but she can actually do everything. That's just who she is. She went through hard times to learn those things. But she acts like she learned them without any struggle. That's also who she is. I like that about her.
なんだよレナ、帰っちゃうのかよ。
ケイチさんが恥ずかしい格好で職員室にお伺いしなくちゃならないところをご覧になりませんの？見物なのに残念なのです。うん、ごめんね。
昨日も家の用事だったじゃねえかよ。何かあったのか？
うん、ちょっとね、いろいろ。もう何日かかかるかもしれない。
じゃあ当分レナは部活に参加できないかな。
かもしれない。なるべく早く復帰できるように頑張る。
その用事は俺たちには手伝えることか？例えば古い家具を運び出すとか、そういう力仕事なら言ってくれ。
Old furniture.
応援に行くぜ。
家の模様替えとかかい？おじさんたちみんなで手伝うよ。
レナさんの家のお手伝いで優劣起きそうのもありですわよね。多分お手伝いしない方が優勝なのです。みんなありがとう。気持ちだけもらっておくね。
じゃあ仕方ない。竜宮レナを本日付で我が部より戦線離脱とする。お家の仕事が片付くまで休暇とするので、英気回復の上再び戦線へ復帰することをここに命ずる。まあ4人なら4人で遊べるゲームもあるしね。そうだそうだ、ケイちゃんは麻雀とかできる？
おう任せろ。親父の仕事関係の人たちの宅に無理やり混ぜられることもある。
もちろん私たちは麻雀だって精通していましてよ。
After that, they fooled around and made a lot of noise, just like they always did. I looked at them and then reminded myself that I'd always have a place to return to. I left the classroom with a smile. I was going to Yaguchi on my bicycle, so I had to find a place to bury the bags with the body parts. Hopefully, I could finish burying all of them today before it gets dark. With that, everything would be over and done with.
パイの背中が竹だってのがなんだか怖いよな。まさか岩パイってことはないだろうな。
さーて、どうでございましょうね。圭一さんには以前のジジ抜きの時に手痛い思い出がございますものね。
まあ多少は傷もあるだろうね。安物のパイだしさ。そのくらいの要素がないと我が部らしくないでしょ。ヒヒヒヒヒ。
みー、赤は何枚混ぜるのですか？ 6 つ？
Rika-chan sounded professional and it scared me. Okay, so we're doing Keiichi now. Keiichi perspective. Oh well. I should start by checking the tiles. Playing mahjong with my family is different from playing it as a club activity. I have to be cautious. It's possible that one tile is missing or that there is one extra of a particular tile in here.
そんなことしないって。でも着想は面白いね。そういう手もあるか。なるほどなるほど。
よしよし、パイをみんな表にして並べてみよう。ほれほれほれ。
Every flip, or everybody, I mean, everybody flip the tiles face up.
あれ、おい、誰かのとこにチュンが1個隠れてないか？
Dragon.
ピンズとソースの6が1個ずつ足りないですわね。あら、マンズの6も1個足りませんでしたよ。
Honestly, I've never understood how mahjong is played. If you played Yakuza games, there's mahjong there. I have never understood that.
なんだなんだ？随分と足りないじゃないか。
ああ、そうだったそうだった。ちょいと待って。
Mion hit the palm of her hand with her fist and moved her chair aside and stuck her finger into a gap into the floorboards. She then pulled a tile out of there.
はいよ、まずはチュンね。あとの3つはどこだったっけな。
おい待てミオン。どうして麻雀のパイが教室のあちこちに隠してあるんだよ。
にゃはははは。まあまあ。
She must have hidden the other 3 tiles somewhere in the classroom and forgot where. We couldn't play mahjong with the 3 tiles missing. I suggested playing another game, but Mion insisted that we had to find them and suggested making that treasure hunt our game.
まあ、確かに圭一さんと勝負をつけるなら種目は何でもいいわけでございますけど。もうちょっとまともな種目がいいですわね。
同感だな。それにこの教室に本当にあるかも怪しいんだろ。
多分あると思うんだよ。あるいはおじさんが懐にしまったまま帰っちゃって洗濯機の脇に置いてあるとかかな。
今度からミーと麻雀をやるときは終わった後にも牌の数を調べた方がいいと思いますです。
So everybody except Mion nodded in agreement.
何よ。教室宝探し対決じゃ不満？
つうかミオンのイカ様の後始末だろ。お前の責任でやれ。部活を私的に使うな。
ブーブー。じゃあどうする？麻雀は無理だしね。他何する？である人。
As our club president, Mion usually decides what we'll play. I couldn't just come up with something on the spot. While we were all thinking, Mion hit her palm with her fist just like she did earlier.
じゃあさみんな、パイの宝探しが嫌ならさ、もうちょっとでっかく宝探しをしようじゃない？
Treasure hunt?
宝探しといえばレナのお家芸。
Oh, they're gonna go to the dump, I guess.
ってことはダム現場のゴミ山か。
So the thing in the opening, right? That's gonna happen.
あそこってあんまり行ったことないんですけど、結構広いですわよね。
We're gonna see that, I mean.
あそこはバラバラ殺人の幽霊が出るから近寄らない方がいいらしいのですよ。
幽霊上等じゃないの。そのくらいの演出つかないと宝の山としてはインパクト弱いよね。
へえ、そんな噂あるのかよ。確かバラバラ殺人があって主犯が未だ逃走中。そいつの隠した腕一本が未だ見つからないとか言うんだろ。
その腕を探してバラバラにされた監督さんが幽霊になってさまよっているという噂があるのです。あらあらリカ、幽霊が嫌いなんですの？いいお年にもなって恥ずかしいですわね。僕は巫女ですから見たくなくても見えてしまうのですよ。
うわ、なんだよそれ、霊感ってやつか。確かに見える人には当たり前のように幽霊が見えるって話聞いたことあるな。
バカバカしいですわね。リカと一緒にずっと住んでますけど、そんなの一度も見たことありませんでしたよ。
Really?
さとこに見えてないだけなのですよ。さとこがお布団で寝てるときはいつも
Oh.
ニパーリカ、
But I want Rika to talk like the older voice, right, with her friends here. I want to see their reactions.
そこで笑ってはぐらかさないでくださいませ。私が寝てるときは何なんですの？
Satoko, I feel sorry for you. You can pretend you're not scared of ghosts during the day, but I'm pretty sure you get scared when it gets dark. I'm gonna have to make a silent phone call tonight just to scare the hell out of her.
まあ私も含めてなんだけど、ダム戦争の後に好き好んであそこに出入りする人はいないんじゃないかね。レナくらいだよ、楽しそうにあそこで遊んでるのは。
レナのカーイーモードの前に幽霊が出た日にゃ、彼岸の向こうからでもお持ち帰りされかねんな。
確かにありそうですわね。はう、お持ち帰りって。
It was so easy to imagine that all of us laughed.
じゃあ決まり。今日はゴミ山探検にしよう。幽霊を見つけられたら優勝。辞典は隠された右腕。
You get a point if you find the victim's missing right arm.
その次はじゃあレナが気に入りそうな何かだね。レナに見せて白黒をつけてもらうってことでどうよ。
私は優勝でケイチさんはビリでダブル罰ゲームが楽しみですわね。
おいおい、サトコいいのかよ。優勝ってことは幽霊。
ちょっとやめてくださいませ。暑苦しいですわ。僕もお化けが怖いので行きたくないのです。もっとは何ですの？もっとは私は全然怖くなんかありませんわよ。ケイチさん、お話遊ばせ。
では行くよ諸君、出撃準備。
And it'll be over with. Everything will be over and done with. Yes, it will be over when the Higurashi cry. Okay. They're gonna go on a treasure hunt. They're gonna see treasure there. Yeah. 12 different pieces of treasure, I suppose, right? In black bags as well. But we will see that.
これで全部かな。
Okay, so they skipped it. Okay. So yeah, we'll take a break here. Short episode for today. I'm sorry about that, but yeah, a little bit shorter. Next time we'll do the normal longer ones. But yeah, Rena and her dad, I mean, kind of has a new life now. Like their life had been being sour, I suppose, right? Ever since the divorce and then with Rena-san, and then now it's getting much better now. Her dad is gonna try to find a job, even though he doesn't need a job because they have a lot of money anyways. It's just for him to go out, to have a normal lifestyle, to have something to do, right? At least, rather than sulking in his house there, right? So that's a step forward. Rena did this, and yeah, of course for her, that is of course worth it. I'm not saying that Rena and Teppei didn't deserve it. Both of them are parasites. They're scum, right? If someone had to die, yeah. They're both of them. But seriously though, yeah. But yeah, it's an act of murder still though for Rena. She crossed the line, did it, so her and her dad could remove that parasite in their life and have a much better life, right? So let's see what her friends are gonna say next episode. But for sure, the friends are gonna be like, "Oh, it's okay, no problem." But I just want to see the reactions. But yeah, my expectation is that they're just gonna say like, "Oh, okay, it's okay that you did it," etc., etc. I just want to see like the initial reaction to it, like especially Mion and Keiichi. Yes, especially Mion and Keiichi. Let's see what they say to Rena. Like, what? You did that? Okay, let's see. So yes, we're gonna continue this and do more of Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 6, Tsumihoroboshi in the next one. So I'll just see you then, guys. Bye-bye.